So I finished Loopers and I wasn't really aware of how short it is. It took like 4 hours and I probably could have finished it in 3 if I concentrated on it. Also, this will have spoilers here and there, but the short of it is that it's fine. It's purposely rushed here and there, but it hits the beats and ends well. This could have been like a 12-hour VN to fully flesh out the rest of the cast, but overall it's fine. Maybe wait for a small sale where it's like $15. Otherwise, there's a lot of other stuff you can buy that'll give you more for your buck. The scenarios were written by Rio 7, and that's why I ironically like it, but I'll get to that in a bit. There's a couple concepts you associate with them. The major one is this guy loves time loops, where it's an actual loop and the characters know that it's happening or everything gets reset. There's a few that aren't like this, and my favorite title of his doesn't even do that at all, which was called Rose Gun Days. Another is that half the cast is usually wacky, and the last one being that he needs an overbearing editor because this dude can just keep on going about the most mundane shit sometimes. And the more you read his stuff, the more you'll notice that each event has like 1 or 2 phrases that he'll repeat on like every other chapter or so. So what's ironic on this one is that it really feels rushed for something written by Rio 7. It's like they got an editor that really hated his guts and just kept on beating his ass at any time he tried to deviate from the main aspects. So if it's not about Tyler or Mia, then just fuck it. I'll go over a few examples, but it needs context first. So it starts out with Tyler and somewhat with the 2 side characters that he finds by coincidence, Hilda and Leona. They're like childhood acquaintances. Anyways, Tyler's into this geo-hunting thing, which is basically just finding treasure. Think of it like Pokemon Go, but it's a physical treasure where you have to give something to take what's inside the box once you find it. Anyway, shit happens and they find themselves looping the same day, and soon after join like this loopers group where Simon and Mia reside. This covers maybe the first 4 or 5 chapters, and everything so far feels like Rio 7. It kind of stops after this, maybe give or take a chapter, and this is like an hour. Also, while I'm here, the mic quality kind of varies between the characters. Tyler yells a lot, but it always feels like Hilda's mic is the one peaking, and I had to shove her volume down a few ticks. The peaking also happens to like 1 or 2 other characters, but it's not important. Tyler did a great job, though really almost all of the characters aren't given a chance to try out a vocal range anyway. I think Simon's probably the only one that has like a popular VA. I'm actually reading another one that he's in there as well. It's like Nicola or whatever. Anyways, after these like 5 chapters, most things get kind of rushed, but it feels intentional. It brings back a memory about this talk Yoko Taro had where he plans that plot in reverse. So he wants you to feel sad, so he gets his MC seeing his dog die. So now you have to put in scenes where they're bonding to make it effective and so on. And that's basically what this plot is going through, but swap it with Tyler and Mia. Some are kind of basic links that any plot has, like, okay, here's a setting that was made to get these characters to interact with each other, and honestly, they basically outright tell you what's happening and how it ends in like the first 5 minutes. So there's like a lot of stuff that gets rushed because of it. Like there's these 3 characters that are basically dying of boredom and they might go crazy in a few days, and that gets resolved in minutes. And okay, now they're good, and now like let's have them interact and everybody get closer. Okay, done in a few minutes again. It's like in a normal VN or even a normal Ryu VN, especially with him, this would be like a 3-hour long thing, and it's like no, 2 minutes is good, it's fine. And it's like, okay, we're looping the same day. Some characters can do whatever they want and do all these activities that they want to do. It's like, okay, that's done in 10 minutes. Fuck it, it's done. Almost everything is done quickly because it's not really important. They could flesh out everything out to make a larger impact, but they're just confident enough that, hey, whatever we have now, it'll work out. And there's other sections that get resolved faster because it's just a stepping stone for other stepping stones. The farther it is to having an impact on the final hour, the less time it'll have. So for example, it's like there's these 2 other characters you never see at all because they're just in a coma. And it's like, okay, this is a step for a different character that's also going to be in a coma but then comes out. And that step is for later on by the last 2 hours. And that step is finally for the last one, so everything's just a step for each one. So for those 2 characters that are in coma, it's like it was just like a side note. It's like, oh yeah, they're in a coma, and yeah, it kind of sucks, but that's how it is. But really, I had more fun just going through it, imagining that the editor is just deleting chunks of exposition and set pieces and say like, this is not important enough, fuck it. Like anything that was a major importance had some time put into it, but everything else was just mercilessly cut down. It's like how I found Dragon Ball GT kind of funny because it felt like a spite-driven project, even though it was all just marketing. It's like, fuck it, you want Goku to do everything? Well, fuck you, here's only Goku, and that's all you get for like 60 episodes. It's like, but I like the other characters. Like, no, you keep saying Goku, so fucking Goku. It's like King of the Hill. Where Hank was with the smoke's like, well, you want to smoke? Fucking smoke the whole curtain. It's like, damn, dude. And that's kind of like a good chunk of why I like the last chapter of Umineko, because it also felt like very spike driven to the readers. And a good chunk of loopers felt like a shitpost to people like me that always complain about padding, so that's why it's funny to me. Without that, or you know, if I like things rushed, maybe I would like this less. I give this like a 7 or so. Normally I put this in like a 6.